Okay, welcome back. So, welcome to part 3 of eliminating embarrassing writing errors. Okay, I think you may know this quote, so perhaps I won't mention it again, but you might just like to keep looking at it and remembering. Okay, let's get moving. All right, so does the book end properly? So, your conclusion should tie everything in your book together and leave that reader happy that he or she actually bought and read what you had to say. And of course, it might actually be a series of books, so you want to make sure it ends properly and gives them enough to go, oh my goodness, I can't wait. So looking forward to the next book. And they're just going to be waiting for your next book to be written, and they'll be there and they'll publish. So, make sure that your book ends properly. Make sure it makes sense. So, does your book actually make complete sense to the audience that you're targeting? So, again, I like to use my dog cat analogy. So, if you've written a book about dogs, but your audience is actually cat lovers, it's not going to work. So, you really need to make sure that the book makes sense. So, at this point, you may want to have someone else who knows something of what you're writing about to take a look over it and ask questions or make comments for you. It is really helpful. And honestly, please don't be offended. This is actually a great thing to do because you'd rather a friend comment to you or someone or family, friends, whatever it is. You need, it's better coming from them than a complete stranger than perhaps either saying terrible things about your book or never buying another book from you. So it's really important that it makes sense. Okay, so you may go through several draft processes before you announce that your book's ready for a final review and edit. Yes, it actually does need to go through a few draft processes. I know, it's how horrible, but honestly, if you want it to be brilliant and sell lots of copies, then you really need to do this step. So some writers claim they can write a book in only one draft. Apologies, but you know what? Those books are not that brilliant. So most of it does take several times to go through it, and honestly, you will really be happy that you actually did it that way. It's painful at the time, but really worthwhile in the end. So editing and proofreading. So you're starting to approach the finish line of completing your book when you're at this stage, okay? It does include looking at different phrases within your book that you can make so that it's more forceful and avoid repetition within your book. Really important that you don't do that because, again, thinking of the reader. If they're bored or, you don't want that. You want them to be really happy with everything that you've written inside of your book. Proofreading, okay, just to explain it, is looking for commas and other grammar faux pas that can make a difference in how your readers comprehend what you're actually trying to say. So you know how in emails, for instance, as an example, when you're writing, and you've really got to be careful how you write an email because when you just like dump it out of your head, sometimes if you read it back, and it can actually sound quite rude. Not that you meant it to be rude, but it can come across like that. So you really need to make sure that you do the same when you're writing a book or an article. You don't want to be offending anyone, okay? So at this level of your book polishing, it's really a great idea to read your manuscript out loud. I know that sounds really silly, but honestly, it really makes it so much more powerful, and you can actually get the full impact of the words and the punctuation choices you've made throughout the book. Because when you read it just in your mind, you will not pick all of those things up. So really important that you read out loud, because honestly, you're going to be like, wow, okay, yep, that makes sense. That doesn't sound too good like that. So, it's a really good idea to do that. Okay, then once you're happy with it, you should actually get someone professionally to edit it, proofread and edit it, because you still have probably missed something. So after you're sure as you are that you've polished it enough and finished the bits and pieces that you think, then I think it is, yeah, hire a professional. It's about time you say, okay, well, I've finished. You now need to please have a look at it for me. So you can get a recommendation for an editor through another writer or a professional publisher, of course, but at Author Academy, we actually do proofread and edit, so feel free to yell out if we can be of assistance. If you've got someone else, that's totally fine as well. Just letting you know that we can help. Okay, so just some pointers that you want to remember before you do choose someone is to make sure they can actually provide you with samples of work and references. Now, we've had quite a few people come through our publishing house, so we can, say that we've been blessed to have a lot of people come through and publish their books, and we're very proud and happy. So again, if we can help, let us know. Now, although the editor likely won't be savvy enough to know all the facts you're writing about, they can make recommendations on glaring mistakes in style. Okay, because, there are so many different genres out there. So, we may not know all the facts on different genres, but as I say, we can definitely give you recommendations on things that stand out. Okay, so remember that you don't have to take everyone's feedback as law. So in our Write, Edit, Publish masterclasses, we actually go through, one of the terms that we do is we actually sit and we partner people up with each other, and they proofread and edit each other's work and give feedback. We found it to be really, really great, and our students love it. They're a bit apprehensive at first, but once they start doing it, they love it. And they then realise, wow, well, if this person that I know can give me this kind of feedback and show me the different things that I may have missed or could add, etc., then wow, imagine the reader that we don't even know. So, and again, we say to everyone in the class, just because someone gives you feedback, it doesn't mean you have to do or use that feedback, okay? It's just a recommendation. You do with it what you will. If you want to add it in, change it to what that person has said, by all means do it. If you just want to take a snippet, whatever it is, it's entirely up to you at the end, because it is your book, okay? So again, making your own decisions on feedback, but take them all seriously, because you can feel confident as you progress to the publishing stage of your masterpiece that at least you've taken the time to at least take a look at the feedback and implement them, because it will honestly help your masterpiece. Okay, so that's it for eliminating embarrassing writing errors. Thank you so much, and we'll look forward to speaking to you in another video. Take care.